You have a personal brand whether you like it or not. It's just up to you to decide, are you going to tell your story or let the rumors and gossip tell it for you?
Should a focus in 2024 be on building a personal brand or a faceless brand?
The personal brand matters more. And here's why.
What are you doing to attract A players and keep them?
The way to attract people is to showcase a business or a lifestyle that they would want to be a part of. My goal is just to show people how can they do it. Here's the actual playbook. Here's how you set up a business. Here's how you give back to the homeless. That becomes big.
You pay millions and millions and millions and millions out to influencers.
Yeah.
Where are we going with influencer marketing for 2024?
It has to work or it has to work.
Welcome to Circle of Greatness. It's your host, Nehemiah Davis. And today I get to bring to you guys what I like to say, one of the most connected men in America. I'm going to say the world, man. My guy, owner, investor in 43 different companies, one of the youngest ever who ever did an IPO. And I'm just talking about the list goes on and on. Philanthropist, like tastemaker, like entrepreneur, like literally serial investor, and anything else you think about, this is him, the Renaissance man, Dan Fleyshman. What's up, bro?
Just happy to be here.
Hey, man.
Fresh off the plane, came straight over.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you coming on, man. I gotta ask you, bro. You are you're a move maker, bro. How are you managing to be able to do like? You're like, I've watched you. Like, you don't gotta say things. I watch how you move. Like, hey, we're gonna do dinner, and you go create. Let me go get this dinner done right away. Things that I know that you can have someone do. It's like, I watch you say, and I never forgot this. Like, when I'm having an event at my home or wherever you're having it, I'm sending out texts myself to hundreds of people like, tell me why.
So if an assistant messages you, it's a lot different if I message you.
100%.
So assistant can effectively and efficiently message you and get the point across, but you are more inclined to come if I do it.
100%.
They could theoretically take my phone and do it, and you think it's from me, but when you ask a question or you respond, etc., you'll know the difference.
Right.
And so it's not a knock against assistants. They're very useful. I just know that if I invite you, you're more likely to come.
Yeah.
And so on the flight here, I was inviting everyone. Yesterday, I had 200 people show up last night. On Thursday, I got 300 people coming. Like, I'm hand texting.
Wow.
And through that process, I'm building up an emotional attachment with people. Even if they can't come, I planted a seed. I earned brownie points.
Yeah.
Even if they can't come. And so the reason I do it, and it's crazy to do it, is simply because I want to earn those brownie points. I want to plant those seeds so that when they come to my city, they're going to invite me.
Yeah. Bro, you've been a serial entrepreneur now. Have you ever had a job?
Well, I was in high school. I had 3 jobs at the same time.
Okay.
I saved up $43,000 over the course of 3 years to go to college, and then I never had a job after that.
Did you finish college?
They dropped me after 3 weeks.
Oh, wow. After 3 weeks?
Yeah, so I opened a warehouse in downtown LA.
Yeah.
And a showroom in New York, inside the building with FUBU. We had FUBU ladies in the building. Yep. We had Sean John underwear, Kevin Garnett's clothing brand called Official Black Family. Yeah. So we had all these brands together in my office in New York. And so I would fly to New York, go to LA. I was at San Diego State. I walk in after 3 weeks, and the teacher says, Dan, you don't go here. Yeah. I was like, you just said my name. Yeah. He's like, I said your name as a casual guest. You do not go to the school. Once you miss 3 classes, it's a wrap.
Wow.
So.
And what was the first company from that moment?
So I trademarked the catchphrase, who's your daddy?
Yeah.
So I'm the slogan for clothing, beverages, barbecue sets, everything. So clothing is what I did for the first 6 years. And we were doing Mr. Rags, Dr. J's, Miller's Outpost, Macy's, Nordstrom's, Steve Madden, everywhere. We were everywhere. And then when I was 23 is when I launched the energy drink. That's when I took it public, is when I launched the energy drink. Yeah. And the energy drink became the big thing.
It was like a pioneer of energy drinks. Now everybody got an energy drink.
So we were the first ones to make the flavored ones. We made a cranberry pineapple. We made a 0 sugar, 0 carb, 0 calorie. So we were the first ones to do that. And then we made a green tea, the first green tea energy drink. I'm old. This is way back in the days. And so the green tea energy drink crushed it because it tasted great and it had 0 sugar, 0 carbs, 0 calories. And so I just went all over the country. We got into 55,000 stores through 43 distributors. Before social media was really a thing, we had MySpace. And I would just go everywhere and sell. And that's how it all started.
Wow. That's crazy, bro. And you just been that. So investor of 43 companies, is probably more. I don't know if you updated your bio recently, but what makes you decide what companies you're going to invest in, and how do you know if you're going to be an asset, or what role do you play? Because I understand 43 companies. I don't know if you're active in every single one of them. So tell me. And then there's some of them that you're active in. You're active with Aspire. You're active with your cards. You're active with certain things that you're doing. Everbowl. When do you make a decision on being active, and when do you make the decision if I'm going to invest in this company?
So I'm there if they need me, and I'm a text away.
Yeah.
A lot of times they don't need me for months and months, maybe for a year or two, and other times they need me all the time, depending on the type of investments. I only invest into a company that I can help. If I can't help them, like let's say you're a doctor and you're doing great heart surgeries, I can't help you do more heart surgeries, but you make sweaters with hearts on them, I'm your guy, right? I can sell a lot of sweaters with hearts on them. So I only invest in companies that I can help. I have a couple key requirements. One is the founder. Everything is about them. Because whether you're selling pillows or cupcakes or candles or TVs or podcast mics, the person can adjust. They can pivot. The product is interchangeable. I don't really care as much about the product as people think. I want you, and I want to bet on you that you're going to sell whatever it is that you're selling. Next, are you passionate about it? If you're selling pillows, probably not that passionate about pillows, unless that they're going to do something for charity or save the world or biodegradable, something about them. Otherwise, you're just selling it to make money. That's not true passion. I could have you sell these globes. You could sell something else for money. Third, does anyone else care? Like, do the people care? It's a big difference between your friends doing it and some people buying it online, etc., versus people voting with their wallets, spending on their credit card when you're not there. When you're not an ad, you're not in the room, they're walking down a grocery store, they're at a retail store, they're out shopping online, and they buy your thing without you. I need to be able to invest in it without you, because if it's dependent on you, it can only get as big as you. And the fourth thing is, can I back up everything you said with facts? Can my CEO, my lawyer, and my accountant, who are now going to trust but verify, what you said was true about your financials, your revenue, your sales? Oh yeah, you got a purchase order from Costco? Show me. Yeah. I believe you, but just show me. And so my CEO, lawyer, and accountant are the ones that back it up. So I have those four main requirements to decide about investing, and I want it to be in companies that I can help.
Let me ask you this, because you said something key. I've been buying some small businesses and doing some different things like that, but the bottleneck is that I don't have a CEO over that. Mm-hmm. So you have a CEO specifically over all the companies that you invest in to make sure. So
I have a CEO of my world.
Yep.
Right. His name is Joey Carson. 30 years in the TV game.
Yep.
He was a CEO of Buna Murray. So he did Road Rules, Real World, Simple Life with Paris Hilton, the Kardashians. Yep. Old school legend there. He's a CEO of my world. But every company you mentioned has its own CEO.
Yeah.
I will not invest into a company unless it has a CEO. I call him a quarterback.
Yeah.
Everbowl.
Jeff. Yeah.
Bam. Aspire Tour, those guys. The card stores, that guy. Bam, bam. Everything I invest into, it looks like Dan's got 7 operating companies. I do. Someone's operating each one. Yeah. And if you were like, hey, bro, let's start a tequila brand. I'll give you $10 million. I'm like, who's the CEO? Yeah. Oh, we'll figure that out later. Not 20 million, not 30 million, not 40. Like, unless there's going to be someone we know is ride or die on that thing, I won't do it. Yeah. Because I know it'll fall apart. And I can't do it, and you can't. You're busy. So we need someone to be the CEO, and otherwise I won't do it.
That's good. That's fire. So let me ask you this, man. You have one of the biggest things I take from you, and I don't believe it's any strategy with this. I just think you just got a pure heart. You've been giving back since I personally known you. I mean, I'm talking about L.A. I came to your studio. We did the podcast then. You were one of my first guests, I want to say, when I started years ago. And you had your money book, How to Make $1,000. Yep. Still got it in my library. And you've been having your events at Hubble Studios just for free forever. Yep. You've been having charities. Let me go rent out the stadium, do the biggest toy drop. It's always, how can I do it the biggest, and how can I always give back? Why is this tell me, why does Dan do that?
So I started really heavy 14 years ago. 2010 is when I really started doing the Model Citizen Fund, the backpacks for the homeless.
Yeah, I bought some. Yeah.
Yep. The backpacks have 150 items inside. That charity to me was my passion project, because I could see, feel, and touch it, and other people could replicate it without donating to me. You can make backpacks. You don't need mine. You could get Ziploc bags and put supplies. You don't need my backpacks. I wanted to show people how it's possible, give them the perfect list, and then they could do what they want with it. I have a Thanksgiving food drive. You're in Atlanta. You're not going to fly into LA for a Thanksgiving food drive. You could throw one in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I want to inspire people to throw one in Boston, Chicago, New York, Florida, Albuquerque, New Mexico. I'm going to do a back to school day to give out toys to the kids. You don't need to come to my back to school drive. You do a back to school drive.
Yeah.
And so my goal is to show people how to do a toy drive, how to give to the homeless, how to do these charity things, because it doesn't actually take money. It takes energy and your cell phone and like calling people and texting, inviting them over to a place, and then stuff happens.
Yeah.
And so my goal has always been to make things bigger than me. So the toy drive, if you notice, I'm not on the flyers. I'm not on the website. It's not Dan. I want the world's largest toy drive to be the world's largest toy drive to inspire people to do toy drives. So a small subset of people know that I did it. The tipping dinner that we're doing this Saturday.
I like the tipping dinner. We got to do it.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Everyone pitches $100 each.
Yeah.
Let's say you get 20 friends. That's $2,000.
Yeah.
Give the waitress $1,000. Give the staff $1,000.
Yeah.
50-50. 4,000 people that we know about, there's probably more than that, have tagged us over the last few years throwing their own tipping dinners. Yeah. There's way more that have no idea it's me. And that's what I want. I don't want it to be capped at me.
Yeah.
Because it can't get bigger than me. I need it to be able to be
Scale,
massive.
operation
Exactly.
scale.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, you've been, wow, it's powerful. Just, it's all about others. Like, that's your strategy. It ain't that's just you. It's your core.
It's the butterfly effect.
Yeah.
If you get inspired and you're like, oh, I like the homeless thing, or I like the toy drive thing, and then all these years later I pass away, but your kids do it, your grandkids do it, that's the butterfly effect.
Yeah.
And so my goal is just to show people over and over and over how can they do it. Here's the actual playbook. Here's how you set up a business. Here's how you do a toy drive. Here's how you give back to the homeless. And I just showcase how to do it for little to no money. That becomes big. Because if I can get thousands of people, what happens when 10,000s? What happens with hundreds of thousands? What happens with millions?
Yeah.
And to me, that's what I'm trying to do the hardest, is inspire people to create the butterfly effect.
That's fine. Hey, what's up, guys? Yo, really quick, I want to stop this episode because I want you guys to go to modelcitizensfund.com right now. Go donate. Go look at upcoming calendar. See how you can be a part of some of the charity and philanthropic efforts that Dan and his team does. I've personally participated in several of them. I personally participated in witnessing the client, and I don't even want to say the client, but the constituent receive the thing, whether it's a toy, whether it's clothing, whether it's food. And I just want you guys to go ahead and support him and his charity. And it all goes not to him, it goes to the charity and to the people. So go to modelcitizensfund.com and go ahead and support. Let's get back to the show. Let me ask you this. So investing in 43 companies, CEO is one of the requirements. What are your other requirements? Is it a certain amount of revenue, or is it certain niches?
Yep.
So we in cars, we in conferences, we're in, how are you identifying? Because I'm sure some deals are just coming to you that you just, I can't
down.
take.
Yeah.
Like how are
So
you?
I turn down, we get 300 to 400 business plans and pitches per year. So when you say 43 companies, it sounds like a lot. That's over the course of years and years. It's really only like 4 to 12 a year.
Yeah.
I got way more aggressive the last 2 years. I raised 44 million the last 2 years, putting in 3 to 6 million per company into companies doing 2 to 20 million in sales.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is I'll gamble on a company with less than 2 million. I won't ask you to pitch in with me.
Yeah.
I don't want to hurt our relationship. Like, hey bro, let's invest in this thing, and it's brand new cups of water, and they haven't really got started yet, but they got a vision, blah, 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 and I ask you to throw in 100K. You would do it if I asked you, but what if it doesn't work out? Now, same thing. Hey, bro, this company's doing 7 million. We throw in 100K. If it doesn't work out, you're not really that upset with me, right? We had a real shot at a company. They went from 7 million to 12 million, and something happened and didn't work out. You knew that it was a real business, and we took a gamble on it.
Yeah.
But if I ask you to invest into a brand new startup, it's on me. And so I still invest personally sometimes into smaller companies. But when I raise capital, it's 2 million minimum, preferably like 5 to 15 million. And so the requirements are, I don't want it to overlap. So if I invest into a tequila brand, I'm not going to do a second tequila brand. If I invest into XYZ, like I'm not going to invest into something that's completely
XYZ,
competitive.
yeah.
Unless they are helping each other. I will do multiple beverages, right? I've done multiple beverages. We just raised millions of dollars for BLK water, that tall black bottle.
Yeah.
It's in 29,000 stores. I just bought a coffee brand 5 days ago. They did 18 million in sales last year, but they are now working together to do distribution together because they're in 29,000 stores, they're in thousands of stores. So I'm looking for things that I can help.
Hold on.
Say it again.
Like boat arms.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And then I can say, hey, Everbowl, will you carry this in your 94 locations? Yeah, of course. Hey, can you do this? Like, I want to tie them in as much as I can, as much as possible. So the things that I'm looking for is I want them to do at least $2 million in sales, preferably a little bit more than that. I want it to be someone that I'm basically getting married to, because I'm going to be working with you for 5 years, 7 years, 9 years. Like, you're not going to sell next year. And so I got to like you. Like, I got to be able to go to lunch with you, dinner with you. I got to feel comfortable enough
That's
to
the key, bro.
For
I
sure.
got to enjoy
working
people
with you.
up. Yes. I can't do it if not.
Yeah. I mean, there's been amazing companies I've turned down. Some of them I've told them why. And other ones I just don't tell them. They wonder, like, dude, I'm doing 40 million and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't say I just don't like you. Or we're just not going to hit it off. Or like, your work ethic's different. You're in the Maldives for 2 weeks. Like, that's nice. But I don't want to invest in you because...
You're kicking it too much.
yeah, that's not my thing. I want someone that's passionate. I want them to be ride or die. And later when they sell, go to the Maldives as much as you want. I'll fly with you.
Yeah.
But like, I don't want to invest and see you in the Maldives right now. Yeah. That's not what I want. And so I'm looking for the person, I'm looking for the company, and I'm turning down almost everything. Literally almost everything. I say no to pretty much everything. And even though I want to say yes, I know myself, I'm going to go all in. I'm going to do whatever I can to help it. And if I don't like the person or I don't like the product, I don't care about the money part.
I'm loving the formula right here. 2 to 15 million.
Yep.
Ideally, 5 is better. Must have a CEO.
Yep.
Must not be a comparable company. How can I make them all work together? In turn, you're turning down more of these,
For sure.
And they gotta pass the lawyer test, the CEO test, and the accountant test. It's a masterclass right here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's important because if you do that, you hear a statistic, 90% of businesses fail. Yeah. 90% of rappers fail, 90% of restaurants fail, 90% of everything fails.
Yeah.
And by the way, that 10%, a lot of them fail too. So the numbers are a lot higher. But I can reduce my risk and reduce my failure rate if I check all these boxes. If they have a company with a good CEO, they've done $4 million in sales, their accounting is correct, they're probably going to work out.
Yeah.
Can they fail? Of course they can fail.
Yeah.
But put that next to another one that's like, oh, I haven't done my paperwork in 2 years. I haven't done my taxes. I'm like, okay, well,
This won't work.
it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how much I like your product. You might have the nicest globes ever with a 90% profit margin. I don't care.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to do accounting and paperwork or you're not willing to do it, I'm not in.
100%.
No matter how good your sales are.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to work out long term. You know why? When it's time to sell the company and you're like, I don't really feel like doing the paperwork. Bro, you got 6 months of paperwork to do. Not 6 days.
Yeah.
6 months.
Yeah.
To sell your company minimum.
Yeah.
So I need you to be okay with paperwork.
Yeah.
And if you're not, God bless you, and you want to go hang out in the Maldives, that's fine. But I'm not going to invest into that.
Yeah. Somebody from the outside that just looks, you got it going on. What's some struggles that you've been seeing at this level that Dan is facing at
Nonstop.
this level?
I'm a firefighter.
Yeah.
Every morning I open my phone is to put out fires. So the reason that it looks easy-ish is I go in expecting it. And I stay calm in the chaos. Every single morning, every single day, and right before you walked in this room, I was putting out a fire.
Yeah.
Like, I had paid a venue, money's already there. They said it's not there, and then they can't hold our spot for us. We send them a screenshot of the wire, and they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
How do we have this discussion? Because then we showed in the email, we sent you the screenshot yesterday.
Yeah.
So every time there's a situation that sounds small, but what if I lost that venue?
Yeah. And then you got people coming to the venue.
I have hundreds of people coming to me. Like,
yeah.
What do you mean? I got to go back and text everyone by hand? How?
Yeah.
Right? Or I post it on social media and I don't even know who's coming. Yeah. What would I do?
Yeah.
I'd have hundreds of people just show up. And so every single day I'm dealing with fires. I am a firefighter.
Yeah.
And so, and when they say,
I'm looking for it, actually.
yes. I
Part
expect
of the
it.
game. Yeah.
I expect it.
Yeah.
I would actually be worried if something like, why is it so quiet?
Yeah.
What's going on back there? You know, it doesn't make any sense. So the struggle is mostly people. My biggest issue is people. If you say, hey, I'm going to do this thing by Friday, and I tell everyone, hey, guess what? He's going to do this thing by Friday. And then Friday rolls around like, oh, bro, I need till next Wednesday. And then I got to go tell everybody it's next Wednesday. And then Wednesday comes around like, actually, I need till Friday. I'm like, uh-oh. That's all on me. And I can't move correctly if you were manufacturing something for me for Friday that became Wednesday that became Friday. It puts me in a bad spot. And now the retailer that I was going to sell to is like, I don't know if they can come through. And my investor's like, wait a minute, you just lost the retailer? Yeah. And all that's because you told me Friday. Yeah. And so I'm constantly dealing with people in those situations. And I try to give padding whenever I can to not tell people it's on Friday, to protect myself as much as I can. But ultimately, it's people. That's my biggest bottleneck.
What are you doing to attract A players and keep them?
So my retention is what I'm most proud about. My team has all been with me for 4 to 12 years. Yeah. All of them. The girl that runs my events has been with me since I was 15 years old.
Is that wife of the party?
Wife of the party's done all my events for 8 years now.
Yeah.
Shannon's been doing my events since she was alive, basically. That's what I was just talking to, right? So she runs all my life, and that's been for decades. Yeah.
She runs the events and anything else you got going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not an assistant though.
No, she's a quarterback for sure.
Got it.
Yeah. She's a glorified assistant, if you will.
Yeah.
No, she runs it. I can just show up to the event, and she'll deal with.
That's not wife of the party. That's Shannon.
Shannon works with wife of the party also.
With the black hair.
I know she's the blonde one.
Okay.
Lori's with the black hair. Yes.
Okay. All right. So
Shannon and wife of the party work really well together, but it's separate things. Wife of the party is a production company.
Yeah.
So I'm passionate about keeping them.
Yeah.
The way I find them is typically through referrals. I can't really think of anyone I got off of a job listing site. They came from someone that said, hey, you should meet this person. Whether it was my CEO, my head of finance, my marketing guys, everyone. And I don't really scale my team that much. I have a ninja-sized team. It's I have the same 18 people for basically the last 4 to 12 years. And
they're just all ninjas.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're juggling my world though. They're not just doing events or social media agency or selling blueberries. And there's a lot of different moving parts to my world. And so it's not simple, but I need people that are ride or die in that category and whatever that they're covering. And then at some point, there are things that I do want to bring on. I've finally, for the first time, brought on an actual national sales manager. And he hired a whole sales team underneath him. I did one post 3 weeks ago, and 518 people apply.
Wow.
And he filtered it down to 300-ish, 144 that he did video interviews with, boom, 50 people. And now there's the 14 that are the ones, wow, that survived it all. And I never had that before. Yeah. I was always one person per thing, and now I have a whole team. So the way to attract people is to showcase a business or a lifestyle that they would want to be a part of. Right? Yeah. People want to work here. Yeah. They want to work in this environment where what you've built here. Yeah. And so if you can showcase a business or a lifestyle, that will attract the players. People are typically think, oh yeah, he paid 80 grand versus someone pays 90 grand. That's not really what keeps people. My staff gets poached all the time. Yeah. All the time. And it's sometimes from my friends trying to take people try to take Shannon from me every freaking week. And so it's not the money part. Now listen, if they got overpaid or overoffered, I'd tell them to go, right? Or I'd have to match it. Yeah. But typically they want to work for someone or for a business that they care about.
Yeah, that's good. That's powerful right there, man. Because we were talking one day, it seemed harder with creatives though.
Yes.
We was talking about the videographers at the warehouse talk about that, because the creative, it seemed like creators are the hardest, I feel like.
So they're inside their own minds so much because they are so creative, like an artist. Whether it's a videographer, a web designer, a graphic artist, their mind is spinning at all times in the way that they're thinking, and I can't do it, you can't do it. If I gave you a piece of paper to draw what they draw, we can't paint, right? We can't make a song like they can, or a film like they can, or a video like they can. It's something magical that happens in your mind, and you can't even just train for that either. You can get better skills that way, but you got to have it to do those things. And because of that, they can get bored or phased out or overworked, and it's in their mind. And when it's stuck in their mind, it's over. You lost them. Yeah. And so I try to provide as much leniency and hands off as I can. I rarely send an edit to videographers, like really rare. Not even count on 2 hands this year. It's really rare. Even when there's things I want to fix or I would change or this, I don't want to poke the bear. I don't want to have a and by the way, I'm really close with these guys. I have 4 videographers full time. I'm very close with them. Like they sleep over the house, travel like all over the planet together. Really rare that I want to, hey, can you change it? I saw that you were sitting like this and I'd rather him do this. It's okay. Like I don't even bring it up. Yeah. Hey, I saw that the spelling had an A in it when it should be an E. I don't even bring it up. Yeah. Not to say that I don't want it to be perfect.
What about attention to details?
So oftentimes what will happen is they'll realize it. They'll catch it. Or I'll post it and mention it something, but not necessarily have them fix it. I want it to be in their minds. They will fix it. Yeah. It'll be stuck in their minds. And other thing is when there are small issues when it comes to graphics, designs, videos, photos, it actually has higher engagement. Gary Vee, for example, on purpose misspells things. He is a bad speller. He says that, and it's true. But he also does it on purpose as a tactic because keyboard warriors like, blah, blah, blah. You should have spelled they as they. Yeah. Why? Who cares?
Yeah.
Right? But all of a sudden he's got 400 extra comments and then gets 100,000 extra views. Yeah. Just because he spelled the they with an extra Y or whatever.
Where are we going? And you've paid millions and millions and millions and millions out to influencers.
Yeah.
Where are we going with influencer marketing for 2024?
So
2025.
It's harder and easier at the same time. It's harder because engagement is down.
Yes.
And the algorithm is terrible.
Yeah.
Yes. And the algorithm it's tragic right now. And it's just getting worse. Hard part is that they believe that they're correct because their revenue is going through the roof because people are spending a lot. But what they don't seem to realize is us as influencers don't post as much. Why would we? And so many major influencers, medium-sized influencers, don't want to post when they used to get 20,000 likes. Now they get 3. Well, it's not like 20,000 down to 16, 20,000 down to 3,000. They don't want to post.
Yeah.
It's less incentivizing to them. And then the brands want to pay them less because of the engagement. So the hard part is it's harder for influencers to get lots of views. The good part is for brands and products, you can get better pricing now if you have something you want influencers to post. The other difference is the word influencer now goes from micro all the way up to mega, right? There are micro influencers with 10,000 followers making more money than people with 250,000.
Yeah.
Because their 10,000 followers is all about candles.
Yeah.
And
they're buyers.
Buying.
Yeah.
For sure. Oh, that's a mom influencer with 34,000, but she cooks every day. Buyers, right? Compared to the girl with 600,000 followers that's just pretty or just funny. Like she can get eyeballs on something, but she won't convert the way that someone that is a niche influencer. And so you're just in a different space now where we as brands and products and agencies have access to unlimited amounts of influencers. And the influencers have to stand out in the way that they should stand out as a niche category. You love fashion, you love puppies, you love jeans, like, okay, make that.
Yeah,
and
lock in.
And brands will pay you for that.
That's good. That's powerful. That like lock in on something versus trying to do everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I see that be a problem. Like, man, I don't even believe what I think you just doing this for a check now.
Correct.
Yeah, so it's like, which ones? How are you book a lot of speakers, bro. Like,
yeah.
I booked some speakers, but I mean, you booking every speaker there is who seem unimaginable. Tell me about that. Like, what's the strategy on the speaker play?
So I have to make it about them. I have to make it easy for them to be there.
Yep.
Some of them I'm paying a lot. Some of them I'm paying 0. That event a few weeks ago, the arena event, I had 29 speakers. I only paid 4. The other ones wanted to be there because David Goggins and Lewis Howes and Ed Milet and the legends are there, and so they wanted to be there, right? And they know there's going to be an arena full of people. So there's the game of that, booking some big name talent first will help me get better rates or free for other talent. You go book Steve Harvey, guess what? A lot of people want to speak in the same stage as Steve Harvey, right?
100%.
Yeah. If I'm going to go to InvestFest and I know that there's going to be XYZ household name artist, right? I'll pay for my own way to go speak there because they got this person performing, this person speaking. So, like even when Marcus had that event in Vegas with Magic Johnson, Mike Tyson, like who doesn't want to speak at that?
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
And so,
just even being positioned on the flyer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because it helps them to go get other gigs that do pay them for it. Because people will assume that they got paid, which is perfectly fine. So one part of it is I do go after my top tier talent first. I have the event in Miami coming up right now. I go Gary V, A-Rod. I get those people, Marcus Lemonis. I get them first. And then I'm start asking, oh, by the way, person I normally give 100K, will you do it for 50? Hey, person I give 50K to, will you do it for 0? I'll pay for your travel. Hey, person, do you want to come? And I don't even bring up rates. That's not even a thing because I know they want to speak there. And then I get bombarded with people that are offering to pay to speak, which happens nonstop. Just to be on that flyer with Gary Vee and all those guys.
Working for somebody.
So the event Orlando, we got Hulk Hogan mixed with David Goggins, mixed with T.I., mixed with, like, it's such a fun event, right? Like, it's just so many characters. And Shaq.
Yeah, I love Shaq. We had
Shaq?
Shaq official. And he's like you, investor wise, like all these companies and
For sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
How
like
did you like Dion?
Dion he doesn't need to be interviewed. I don't know why he always wants to be interviewed.
Yeah,
he puts on a show.
Yeah, he's motivating.
It's like a pastor and a coach mixed with an inspirational, entrepreneurial. Like,
I'm about to try to get Dion.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very expensive now. Prices went up, but he's fantastic. And
He's worth it though?
Absolutely.
All right, cool.
I would have put the whole show around him.
Yeah.
Like, he's so good.
Okay.
And everything that you see is him.
Okay.
I've had him every year for a different event, and I would have him for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Try to get him.
But same thing. You get him, other people want to come, right? Anyways, the point is I focus on, I have to cover a couple different categories. I want to make sure that certain audiences are going to want to come to see, all right, here's Cody Sanchez, or here's I got Martha Stewart. We got Madison Square Garden, July 20th. All right, I want to make sure I got Martha Stewart. I want that women category. All right, I want to make sure I got A-Rod. He's from New York.
Yeah.
Right? I want to make sure I have characters. I got Stephen A. Smith. Boom, let's put him here.
Yeah.
Like, I want to make sure I have certain characters for the city that represents that city. When I do Dallas, I want Mark Cuban, right? That's obvious.
How you like Mark? Because he did one before, right?
He just did our Dallas one like 2 months ago. Yeah. That was great. We had 4,400 people.
Yeah.
And he crushed it, and he'll talk about anything. Yeah. But that's a guy that turns down $500,000.
Yeah.
That's not what I paid him. I paid him less, obviously,
Yeah, of
but
course.
he turns down $500,000.
Yeah.
And so why does he do mine over others?
Relationship.
The framing of what the event is. Hey, we're going to get you in and out. Here's the jet, or here's the car, or here's the limo, or here's the thing. Like, we make everything easy so that there's no back and forth. And we make our offers correct so there's no back and forth. I don't ever ask their price.
Yeah.
The hard part is if you message and say, hey, how much is Shaq? Whew, a lot.
Yeah.
Like a lot. But if you talk to them and say, hey, I have this offer for you for this date in this city with a private jet, okay, things can happen. Oh, hey, I noticed you're already going to be here in this city. You're hosting this thing. Can you come 4 hours earlier? And here's X. Yes.
Offer the price.
Yes. Don't ask.
I like that.
Yeah.
I've been asking.
Yes. Ask me and I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Ask me their price. I'll tell you the price.
Yeah. Don't worry. When this is over, I'm going to ask you a couple of them.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that. Because, yeah. And because here's the other thing. Sometimes you say, what's your, like I had Floyd Mayweather and I told him what I wanted to pay. And we made it work. But ideally, they didn't even know, some of them don't even know what to charge for what we do.
They're just making it up.
Yeah. Because it's like,
do you know what I've heard?
paid to speak?
I've heard crazy rates. I've heard Mayweather get some numbers.
Yeah.
350,000 for 20 minutes. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. And
God bless him. Yeah.
I got him virtually for
less.
For the low.
Less.
Yeah. We'll leave it at that.
But like, he's worth it.
100%.
He's the most famous guy of all time, right? Yeah. He was on the TV show I did last night. He was.
Yeah.
Anyways, but like, you go get Floyd Mayweather, everyone else will want to speak there too.
Yeah.
You know.
How are you prioritizing the highest and best use of your time? Because some things you do that, like you're on here, I just hit you, I'll be there. And it's like, I know you got a bunch of things going and I appreciate you for taking your time, but it's like, you could be saying no to a lot of things because you got a lot going on. So how are you identifying some of these events you may do may not be of a huge benefit to you now, but is there something you're seeing in the future that I could be missing? Yeah.
So I do turn down hundreds of podcasts.
Yeah.
But you asked me, I'm there.
And I appreciate that.
It's relationships, right? If I throw a toy drive, you showed up with a truck of toys. Yeah. Of course I'm coming to your podcast. You throw an event, I'm coming to your event, right? So turning down things that is happening at scale, people are seeing me do a lot, but that's a lot out of a small percentage of what I was brought up. On the event side, I'm throwing 5 events the next 5 days. Yeah. Not all of them are big. Thursday is a preview for the TV show.
Yeah.
That'll only have 100, 200 people at it.
Yeah.
Friday, thousands of people, the Miami Convention Center,
Yeah.
Spire Tour. Friday night, small dinner with Dave Meltzer. He's charging $2,500 a head for a dinner.
Yeah.
I'm bringing all my 100 million mastermind people there.
Yeah.
Saturday daytime, mastermind. Oh, by the way, on Thursday, I forgot to mention, 10 a.m. I speak at someone else's mastermind. 11:30 a.m. I speak at Eric Spofford's mastermind. 1:30 is my viewing party. Like, I'm speaking other people's things in between. Those masterminds probably only have 20 to 100 people.
Yeah.
But I'm going to stop by because I'm earning brownie points.
Yeah.
And so now I show up to Eric Spofford's thing. He always shows up to my stuff. I show up to his stuff. Bop, bop, boom. This guy sold his company for $115 million.
Yeah. I did a pod with him, and the audio was bad, bro. I was pissed.
Oh.
We about to redo it, but I'm like, golly, lost that whole podcast.
So, and then Saturday at 7:30, we're doing the tipping dinner. 2 hours later, we're doing a charity event at the SLS. Sunday on Eric Spofford's yacht, doing a mastermind, like back to back to back. So there's some things that are 30 people, some things that are 3,000 people, but all of them are important to me.
Yeah.
And every one of them, there's a reason for it. I'm planting seeds. I'm earning brownie points. I'm doing those things over and over and over with humans, and I'm building up credibility and relationships and memories with them. So that when later I'm like, hey, I want to do a toy drive. Hey, I want to cure homelessness. Hey, I want to build a grocery store for free, and I need $4 million. Let's all raise it together. Like, they will show up.
Wow.
Because they'll remember when I showed up for them and there was 27 people there. And I spent 4 hours with them, you know.
Wow. That's powerful. And it's not even that you're doing, it's not like I have a plan in the future. It's not a methodical plan. It's just I'm doing what I need to do.
I'm doing that, what I just said, every single week.
Yeah.
So if you throw 42 events a year and you speak at 100 events a year and you interact with tens of thousands of people in person, you're planting seeds and earning brownie points all over. There's plenty of people I'm never going to do anything with. There's plenty of people that'll forget about me, hate me, talk crap about me, love me, try to get a hold of me. I can't get a hold of them. So many things are going to happen. But the math is I'm going to do it over and over and over and over, year after year after year, as all these other guys come and go.
Yeah.
Just like my agency. I have a social media agency for 14 years. You know how many agencies have come and gone? All of them. They all come and go. And I'm going to be here. And it's the same thing's going to happen in sports cards and restaurants and everything. I'm going to keep doing this over and over and over until I'm dead. And all the rest of them are just going to come and go and fade away. And by being repetitive about it, I'm going to build up credibility in each category.
Woo. It's a masterclass right here, bro. This is how you build a business in real time. A lot of the folks that I'm dealing with, you and so many people, bro, and I want people to understand, there's people who starting a business and they half given it to, like, everybody I know working harder now than ever before. Like, you are on the road, 200 days. You're about to have a baby. You're on the road. Like, and I'm trying to get through to people like, you need to get active right now, because everybody I know who's really crushing it, they talking about how hard they're going. Or I see how they ain't even talking about, they're just going hard. I'm like, bro, you chilling, bro. Like, talk to that. Like, it's just.
It's part of who I am, and I couldn't imagine slowing down right now.
Yeah.
And the driving force is I want to do as much as I can while I'm here.
Yeah.
Right? I've had a lot of friends pass away, and I know how short life is. And so I just want to do as much as I can while I'm here. And I know that not everything's going to work out, but if I do things at scale, if I go to 200 different things in a year and interact with tens of thousands of people, stuff's going to happen.
Yeah.
And compound that year after year after year, I'm like, whoa, I spoke in front of 1 million people now that have heard the stories, or I've taught something to. Wow, I've invested in 43 companies. Now I invested in 143 companies. What does that do? Oh, I've raised this much money. I raised 44 million. Now I raised 400 million. Like, it's just math.
Yeah.
Literally just math.
Yeah.
Math and time compounds.
Yeah.
And so to me, if my competitors are just kind of working sometimes and vacationing sometimes, that's fine for them, and God bless them. I am not in that mode. I'm not in that zone. It does not. You couldn't pay me to go sit on a yacht for 2 weeks. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Like, I need my phone. I want, like, while I'm talking to you, I'm thinking about my phone. Like, I'm in it. I'm in it. And so, and by the way, when I say that, I'm not out there pitching to everyone that they should be the hustle.
Yeah.
You don't have to be. I've talked to you about this before. I think that 99% of people should not be the CEO.
Yeah.
They should not be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I think you should be employee number 4. And you will do great. You'll have a much happier life, way less stress. Your bills will be paid first, because that CEO or that hustler, their bills are paid last.
Yeah.
And
That's a fact.
And so I think that the hustle culture, just because I do it or because you do it or because Marcus does it, because our boys do it, our friends do it, and we have Stormy does it, like we have great people around, like they do it. That's not, people aren't built like that.
That's a fact.
And that's okay.
You got to be built. They be like, yo, wait, you doing 7 shows today? Yeah, I'm doing 7 shows.
Yeah.
And then when I leave here, I'm gonna go to dinner.
Yep.
Then when I leave dinner, I gotta go spend some time with my wife and
Yeah.
kids. And I've been up since 4:40 this morning.
Right.
And then tomorrow I'm gonna go back and do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. By any means.
Yeah.
And people not catching that. How right now? Last question. How important is personal brand right now?
So you have a personal brand, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
It's just up to you to decide, are you going to tell your story or let the rumors and gossip tell it for you?
Well, should a focus in 2024 be on building a personal brand or a faceless brand?
So hands down, far and away, the personal brand matters more. And here's why. Can you name the CEO of Southwest Airlines? No.
No.
How about American Airlines?
No.
I can keep going. Delta? No. Frontier Airlines? You definitely don't know. But there is one airline that if I said, do you know Virgin Airlines?
Yeah, Richard Branson. Yeah.
And he's the only one that has.
Just on this cruise.
And he's the only one that has cruise ships.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of a JetBlue cruise ship? No, you haven't. Have you ever heard of JetBlue having a wine, a champagne, a freaking tequila brand, a hotel, a casino?
Nope.
Richard Branson does.
Nope. Yep.
Richard Branson has an island. Those other guys don't have islands. And so the personal brand matters, that they stand out. And because of what Richard Branson did, he's got all these different brands, all these different products. He's the multi-billionaire while all the other airlines are out there losing money.
That's crazy, bro. Well, Dan, man, this has been fire, bro. I appreciate you taking
pleasure.
time, man. Thank you again for coming on. It's been amazing. This is a legit masterclass. I hope people could literally take the gold that you give and go build a personal brand and do something. Let everybody know how they could tap in with you, how they could support you.
Yeah, just go to the social media. It's just at Dan Fleyshman. It's also important for you guys to have the same name, same screen name, same bio, same photo. Keep it easy for people on every social media platform.
Yeah, easy, y'all. And make sure you guys what's the website to the charity?
Model Citizen Fund.
Guys, make sure you guys go to Model Citizen Fund, man. When I talk about 100% of proceeds actually go back to the people, I've witnessed it over and over again. And please make sure you guys support. We'll see you guys on the next show. Peace.